Hello everyone, Matt from Overland Travellers here. Welcome to another video. So where are we at the moment? We are in tropical North Queensland. It is absolutely stunning here. It's winter, but we are shirts, shorts, and yeah, it's just fantastic being up here and getting into some warmer weather, considering it is so cold back home, heaps of snow. We've been on a massive trip recently. Where have we been so far? So we've been up through New South Wales, southwest Queensland, along the Plenty Highway, Alice. Then we did the Madigan line in the Simpson Desert. All those videos might already be out or they will be coming out soon, either one. But the trip was unreal. Elsie has been going fantastic. But I thought in this video we would run through some of the updates that we've done to Elsie, because there's been a lot of really big changes, some new gear, maintenance, and just all these different kind of things that I want to run through and tell you about, because the last video I did, people seem to really enjoy it, so I thought I'd do another one. All right, so the first sort of big change we've done in Elsie is I really have been putting a big effort into doing the basics with Elsie, getting the basics sorted. We had some bearings go a while ago when we were going to Kangaroo Island, and nearly sort of done our trip because we weren't going to catch the boat. Anyway, and I sort of thought I've really got to get onto these things because it was a job that I've been meaning to do for a long time, didn't get around to it, and it was a bit of a wake-up call. I've also seen a meme recently. I'll try and find it and I'll put up on the screen, but I think it was Cowboy Tuned, and it was a picture of this kid with his filthy face giving you this dirty look, and it said, your air filter looking at you while you're installing another light bar. And I thought it's so true. People just seem to put all these accessories on and not actually do the basics of their vehicle. So that's what I wanted to do with Elsie. So we've done all the bearings, rebuilt the swivel hubs. We've put a new heavy duty clutch in, which have just been a huge difference to the vehicle, with the clutch especially, obviously, just to the daily driving of it. The other one was almost gone, and I knew if it was gonna go, it would probably be when I'm bogged at the beach, tides coming in, something like that. So it was good to get that done. A lot of people are sort of, telling me, oh, you're gonna turbo it, you're gonna put 5-speed, all these sort of big changes. And I'm kind of thinking, look, if it's not broke, don't fix it, just try and maintain it. And that's what we're going for before we sort of do any drastic things with the car. Yeah, just try and get onto the basics. So another sort of basic maintenance, sort of thing that we've got onto has been the tie rod ends and steering, nipping up the steering in Elsie. So we went to Pedders to get this done. We got all the tie rod ends done, and we've got a new steering dampener and a new steering relay. This has been just such a big improvement. So obviously on road, the car doesn't wander as much. That's fantastic. That's great. I can just relax when I'm driving a bit more. I can just chill with my arm and the armrest, and I can just drive nice and easily, and the car doesn't float all over the place, which is great. Another thing I've really noticed on this trip actually, where the steering has really come into play, has been in sand driving, which we've done a lot of across the Simpson, a lot of sand driving, a lot of sand dunes. I just had a lot more control in the sand, a lot more finer adjustment with the steering, and it was just a pleasure to drive in that regard. So if you are looking at getting your steering nipped up by professionals, Pedders, awesome company, was so happy with the service I received, and they just did a really good job and just had some good advice for me. So it was really good to sort out. So you probably saw our mate traveling with us, Adrian. He did the Simpson Desert with us, the Madigan line. So he owns a 1981 HJ47 Land Cruiser. It's the trayback version, but same year as Elsie. He's done many Ks in a 40, and he actually jumped in the 40, and he said to me straight away, this is the best steering I've ever dealt with in a 40 before. Compared to his, which is called Skip, because it skips all over the road. So just goes to show that, yeah, getting that done by professionals has really helped. All right, another sort of basic thing that we did with the car is just try and reduce a bit of weight, which we sort of reduced it, but we added it back on in other things like having 2 spares and getting our sub-tank sorted, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, tried to remove a bit of weight, which we did manage to do, but more so we just tried to move the weight around in the car so it was more even, because it was so uneven before and leaning to one side. It's still not perfectly even, that's for sure, the weight distribution of the car, but it definitely has helped what we've done. We've just moved the rooftop tent forward a little bit. We've taken the toolbox off the car that was on the roof. It was just too much weight in the roof. It was just too heavy. and we also moved the max tracks from the side of the car to the top and front other opposite side on the roof rack. This really helped me. Max tracks aren't light. We've got 4 of them, and hanging off the side there, just right at the edge of your car, it's just not a good place to have weight, I don't think. So yeah, move it all there. And the car's just immediate improvement, just getting the weight distribution right. So that's probably all the basics that we've done with LC. There's still heaps of things I want to tick off. Exhaust, that's next. The exhaust is pretty cactus on this thing. We've got an oil leak coming. It's from the high pressure hose going into the alternator, the inlet feed. It's just a bit of a slow leak, but that's going to cause issues. Could blow out one day, and I just want to get that sorted, which we are doing soon. Probably get it sorted in Townsville. It's a constant list with old cars, but yeah, it's all good fun. So we'll get on to some of the newer things that LC has got on. We'll start at the front end here. Big improvement has been the headlights. So Stedi sent us these pair of lights. These are new from them. They're the 7-inch Homage lights. They're for sale now on their website. So pretty much they're Homage lights. So, you know, a homage to older cars. And I mean, a lot of older cars have these 7-inch round headlights, old Land Rovers, Land Cruisers, old Holdens and Valiants and things like that. I think upgrading your headlights in an old vehicle is it's just something you should do, because, you know, having better lights is never gonna be a bad idea, and it's something you can easily change back as well if you want to go for the classic look. But I actually think these LED lights are Stedi, a bit more refined and not too crazy. I'm not a massive fan of the sort of HID projectors in older cars and that kind of look, and the, you know, daytime running and all that. These do have the daytime running, but I haven't plugged them in if you're into that. But I just like the clean look that these have got, and their performance is unreal. My other Stedis actually something went wrong with them when I was doing some serious corrugations to the centre of Australia, the geographical centre. I think the relay blew out because these corrugations are crazy and the lights are flicking on and off so rapidly. Probably something to do with the switch, or yeah, not too sure, but we'll have to have a look. It's a wiring issue. I think the lights are absolutely fine, but yeah, I'll have to check that out. I had just had these lights in and the performance was fantastic. Adrian was commenting on how bright they were. So massive improvement there. All right, moving around to this side of the car. King Industries tent. We've had this on for a while now, and we've done some pretty serious Ks, done a lot of nights sleeping in heaps of different conditions. Hot, humid, freezing cold, raining, 80-kilometre gusts we had in South Australia. It's going fantastic. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's really changed the way we've sort of been camping, and just sort of the level of comfort we have now while we're sleeping. It's a double bed up there. We've got the extra mattress, so it's just super thick, super plush. Heated blanket, which was just an absolute lifesaver. The 12-volt heated blanket was a lifesaver when we were in down south, you know, New South Wales, even past of the Simpson, when it was really cold at night. Getting that heated blanket on half an hour before you go to bed, getting up into bed and your bed is already warm, it's amazing. It's so good. Obviously, we haven't been using it recently because we've been in Queensland, but yeah, it's been fantastic. But the tent itself, it's just, people have sort of been asking me, you know, how is the tent going? You know, do you like it? Was it worth it? And absolutely it is. I mean, compared to the old King's tent that we had on the last video, I did like this. I mean, you know, we had leaks and we were spraying bug spray inside so mozzies wouldn't get through the holes. It was just stupid. And yeah, love this tent. It's performed just flawlessly in every condition. Absolutely no dust ingress. The seal's fantastic. Adrian, the guy we went with, ended up getting one for the trip as well, and he loved it as well. How's the tent going, mate? No dust in it?
Oh, that's what I was just saying earlier. I opened it up and there's nothing.
It's been great. Love the Camp King tent. Also on top, we've got the 180 watt solar panel from Redarc. It's a newer panel from them. It's just good having that on the roof all the time, plugged in, because the Redarc BC2DC 1250D has a green priority, which just means it will take priority for power coming in through your solar rather than your alternator if it has that option, which will just take the load off your alternator a bit, which is really good. And just having a 180 watt panel up there, like, I barely ever have to worry about really topping up power. Just a few days ago, we were running our inverter, fridge and freezer in shade, so we weren't getting any solar input for a couple of days, and the batteries dropped below 12 volt. Parked up here this afternoon, pulled out our 115 watt solar blanket, had the 180 watt panel on top, and just pumped the power in all arvo, so it was awesome. So it's really good having that panel on top. It's a great spot to have a panel. All right, next addition to the car has been the 230 shower tent. Really good little unit. Holly and I just wanted to spend a bit more money and get a better quality unit. There's a lot of cheaper options out there. They just seemed a little bit flimsy and I don't know, didn't look like they could stand the test of time. And we just want to get gear now that's going to last us a long time. So spent a bit more money, got this tent, 230 shower tent. Unreal unit so far, so quick and easy to set up. It's just that typical sort of shower, you know, tent setup. Folds out, it's up in a minute less. Cool little feature this has, it has a little LED light built in, so you can plug that in via USB, which is right next, which we can plug in right at our power box. Light on, it's a good little feature. And yes, it's been working really well so far. We've used it heaps this trip. It's just good as a little change room, and yeah, just having showers without having to wear swimmers is nice. So it's been really good. Little update we've done with Elsie. We've got armrests on the windows. So these are the 1-stone armrests. Awesome unit, love it. This is actually for a 70 series Land Cruiser, and you do need to do slight modification for a 40 series. If you want to know, just ask me in the comments below if you're keen to get a unit like this and you have a 40 series, and I can run you through how to modify it. Super easy. Awesome unit, just slides into your window channel. It's got little magnets on it, so it's easy to pop in, pop out, but it's very sturdy. So nice just to drive. Lean your arm on here rather than the tiny little Land Cruiser sill that you had before. Lean your arm on, it's nice and cushioned, and you can just hold the wheel, and with my new steering, it's just really nice, and I can just relax a bit more on the road. It's really good. You also get the added benefit of a cup holder, which pretty much every single Land Cruiser 70, 40 has been lacking to this day. It's a really nice big cup holder, fits my big insulated Yeti mug straight in there, which has been awesome because I couldn't fit it in the fridge cup holders before. So really nice big cup holder. We've got 4 cup holders now, so it's fantastic. Really good, quick, easy, and relatively cheap mod to do to your car. If you've got a 70 series Land Cruiser, I think I do them for heaps of units. So if you've got an older car or a newer car, check it out. They probably do one for it. All right, save one of the best till last. This upgrade here has been our seats. Scheelmann Vario XLs that we've got in the 40. These things have just been lifesaver on this trip. I don't know how I would have gone on this trip without them. We've done some super rough roads. I'm talking corrugations that you know, do damage to your car, like, you know, crazy corrugations. In the Simpson, we're doing some pretty, you know, it's pretty chopped up, some of the tracks. The QAA line was really chopped up, and just having these seats in and doing the big Ks we've been doing, we've done thousands and thousands of Ks this trip. It's just, it's been so good. It actually took a little while for me to dial in these seats. So the first day that we were driving, I actually did get a bit stiff and sore sitting in them, and I was thinking, oh, what's going on? And I was adjusting the lumbar and I was pumping it right into my back, and I thought, yeah, I need more lumbar, my lower back's sore. And, you know, I was trying to figure it out. And then I decided, oh, look, it's not really working, I'm gonna try something else. So I wound it right off, and that instantly sort of helped, fixed it. So it was just sort of finding what was good for me. The adjustments in this are so fine, you can really dial it in, but it's got like seven forms of adjustment in these seats, which is more than the competition. Look, more than Recaro's, more than the Stratos seats. Adrian in his Land Cruiser had Stratos seats, and I sat in them, and I didn't give him, I was only in them for probably 2 hours, so I didn't give him too much of a chance, but I didn't find them as comfortable as the Scheelmann, and they only have 2 levels of adjustment. I'm not saying they're a bad seat. As I said, I didn't sit in them for long enough to really give them a sort of a good comparison, but initial thoughts was that these I've just found more comfortable. That was it. I just had more adjustment. Adrian sat in them as well, and he really liked them. Super happy with the seats. Probably the only thing, and it's not the seat's fault, it's kind of my fault for the way I built the back. I've got the battery system really quite close to the seat, and I can't put it back as far as I want. And it wasn't a massive problem with my old seat, because my old seat was burnt at the bottom, and I was actually sitting pretty much on the floor of the Cruiser, that I was back a bit further sort of thing. But now these are more upright, and I've actually got a proper seating position. I'm a bit close to the steering wheel, but I've just got to fix up the back setup so I can slide back a bit further. That'd probably be the only thing. Not the seat's fault, as I said. Sitting in this car now, with the armrests, the seat, and then the center console fridge, just so much more relaxing, easy to drive. I can punch out the Ks without getting sore. Look, after 5 hours driving or so, I still get stiff, but I mean, you know, that's just sitting down for 5 hours. Love these seats so far. Absolutely fantastic. Probably one of my favorite updates to date. Staying with the cab here, we've actually got a new UHF in, which is the staying with Oricom, but this is their improved unit from the DTX4200. This is the DTX4200X. Completely redesigned handpiece. The 4200X before this was an all right unit, but I did find it a bit hard to understand. The microphone, the speaker on it wasn't particularly clear. This is greatly improved on that, orders of magnitude better with how the clarity of it. I can actually understand people really easily now. Besides that, yeah, really good unit, really happy with it. Dual receive, a true dual receive, so you can listen to 2 channels at once on different volumes as well, which is really nice. So you can have your main channel, or your you can have your road chatter a bit quieter, channel 40, and then you can have your convoy channel, you know, whatever you're using, and you can have that a bit louder. So that's a really nice little feature there, and yeah, really good unit. While we're here, I think it's worth mentioning our new recovery gear that we've got for LC. I did mention it in a video a while ago that we did, but thought while we're doing an update, if you haven't seen it, I'll just quickly mention it. Saber recovery gear that we've got for LC. Look, we've got kinetic ropes, there's, you know, just heaps of stuff in here, soft shackles, bridles. The thing that I really, really like out of this kit is their soft anchor points, which has been fantastic for LC because we don't have any recovery points in our front bar. So if we get stuck, how do we get pulled out? The soft anchor points are an awesome little unit. I'll grab one out now. So this is a soft anchor point here, pretty simple concept. You can actually wrap this around or through holes in your chassis. I've got really good access to my chassis here because a 40 series chassis sticks out beyond the front end of the car, which is really cool. Soft anchor point through each side of the chassis. And then I can attach it with a soft shackle and then a bridle and a kinetic rope. And that way I can recover the vehicle if need be. I haven't actually got LC stuck yet when I've had this gear, but I will need it one day, I think. This is really good because it's a really low stress recovery option for your vehicle. Getting it through the chassis like that, you know, that's the best possible spot you can do it from. And yeah, just really good little unit, super lightweight. We've got the whole kit here in this bag and we fit it in the car. We now have recovery points in LC with these, and you can get creative with them. You can put them in different spots, you know, at the rear as well. So it's good to have that. So probably the last thing I want to mention in this video that we've sort of added to this trip for LC, we needed heaps of fuel. We're traveling big distances. So we got the sub tank working. We didn't get it working, but what I did is the cheapest, nastiest option. Pretty much just got a little transfer pump, shoved the hose in the sub tank, shove it into the normal tank, turn it on, pump fuel in. Wasn't a great option. It took a while, and you know, it was just messy, diesel getting sort of everywhere. So, but hey, we had extra fuel for the trip. We had probably nearly 200 litres all up, with an extra jerry can as well, which was a really good amount to have for the trip. As you'll see in the Simpson video, if you haven't watched it or it isn't out yet, or it will be soon, but we were dangerously close to running out of fuel. We actually did run out of fuel essentially, but yeah, we sort of managed to scrape our way out of it, which you'll just have to go and watch. All right, guys, thank you for watching that LC update video. We've got, yeah, as I said, heaps of new gear on. It's going great. This car's going better than we have any right for it to be going. It's just, I don't know, it just keeps trucking on this little thing. You'll have to watch the videos of it in the Simpson. It really just surprised us, surprised Adrian, just how well it went. And yeah, if you're new here, please consider liking and subscribing the video. That would really help us out, and we can see you in the next one. Cheers.